how do you know what to look for when you're shopping for a turnkey provider to buy a turnkey rental property from? Look, I'm going to tell you straight up, in my opinion, and this is only my opinion and you don't have to do it this way, don't go at it alone. I've been in turnkey world for almost 10 years and I oftentimes don't know what the red flags with turnkey providers are. There are people out there who specialize in vetting turnkey providers. It's what they do. It's in their blood. Like, my theory, piggyback off their information. Find those people that I trust and let them tell me what they like or don't like about a turnkey provider. When I've tried to evaluate them myself, it's a tough world because I don't really know what I don't know. And even as long as I've been around turnkeys, I still don't know all the questions to ask necessarily. So that's my ultimate advice is don't worry about how to vet a turnkey provider yet. First, find the people to work with who already vet them and work with those people to decide who you may or may not want to work with. With that said, if you want to go at it alone, here are some things that I do think about when I am talking to various turnkey providers and deciding who I want to work with. Number one, how long have they been doing this? If they started 3 months ago, cool. They don't know what challenges are coming their way. Like, you want someone who's established and who really knows what they're doing. Sometimes a turnkey provider company itself may be new, but the founder, owner, person who's actually doing the work has been doing this for a long time. Maybe they just rebranded or branded for that matter. And so what's the experience level either of the company or of the person behind the company? That's starters. Number two, what market are they in and how familiar with this market are they? They should be market experts in their own market. Sounds dumb that some might not be, but you never know. Another thing, consistency. Are the rehabs consistent? What kind of materials are they using? I absolutely do think, I have a video up about should you go see a turnkey rental property before you buy it, and I kind of allude to this in there, which is you don't really have to, but I will say if you're vetting a turnkey provider on your own, you would be crazy to not go visit the operations before you decide to choose them, because you can check every box on a due diligence list, but your own eyeballs are going to give you a way better picture than anything else about how legit this operation is. You want to see firsthand the consistency with the rehabs. You want to see the neighborhoods they're investing in. They should be able to explain to you why they invest in the neighborhoods that they do. And it should sound very intelligent, because what neighborhoods a turnkey provider buys houses in and sells them to you really matters. It's one of the most critical things, because you can't afford to have bad tenants consistently or damages or whatever. Like, cash flows may vary between this street and that street. How dangerous is this street versus this one? They need to be able to really go through the market with you. So they should be market experts on their own market. But again, go see these people, see the consistency with the rehab, see what they're doing. Then you can ask them, how many properties have you sold? And assuming the property management company is managing that number of properties, give or take, you know, how are those performing? Do they have referrals from investors who have bought through them? Referrals, mind you, are a little sketchy these days, because they could have you call their best friend who claims to be a buyer and he could tell you everything great. Like, take it or leave it. There's no Yelp for turnkey providers, although that would be really handy. Note to self. But the property management, you really want to vet the property managers as if you were going non-turnkey. Like, if you were shopping property managers and trying to decide one to work with, vet them to that level, because ultimately, even if you buy the best property under the sun in the best neighborhood, if you have a terrible property manager, it could tank your entire investment. So you want to find out from the turnkey provider, how good is their property management? Like, you need to assess that for yourself, because it is part of the equation. You can always fire them or never use their property management in the first place. But in terms of vetting turnkey providers, it is a big deal, because you don't really want to take on that hassle if you don't have to. And let's see, what else? I think that's the bulk of it. But again, I personally encourage you not to try and figure this out on your own. There's too many people out there who are way smarter at it than you are if you're just getting started. I didn't just get started, and they're still smarter than I am. But, you know, the turnkey provider, technically, if you do proper due diligence on the property, you can verify just about everything about a property. And at that point, it doesn't totally matter who you work for or work with. but presumably none of us are that good at due diligence, and we might be newer, we might whatever. So we need a solid turnkey provider to not be trying to snow us. Like, we want them to be on our side. Oh, how's the communication? If you're already having communication issues with a turnkey provider, take that and run with it and move on, because communication is already one of the hardest parts of dealing with turnkey providers. And if it's bad from the get-go, it's going to keep being bad, and you need the communication to be on par. So that's a big part of it too. So I hope that helps. If you're thinking of trying to find turnkey providers, as far as where to find turnkey providers, you can go online, you can ask other turnkey investors, who are they buying from? That's a really good start, is who are people having good experiences with, and start there. You know, ask around, ask me. Yeah, Google the companies. Unfortunately, you're not going to find a lot of reviews about turnkey companies online. There's a whole slew of reasons for this, but it just kind of is what it is. So yeah, hop in. The water's warm.